Hello, you're listening to the Louie Minor Show. I'm your host, Bell County Commissioner Louie Minor. Today is February 8th, 2025. We have a lot to discuss, so let's go ahead and get started. Remember, there is no Bell County Commissioners Court meeting tomorrow. We enacted a new meeting schedule where we will now meet the first and the third of each month. The first and the third of each month. So, no agenda to go over, but still a lot to talk about. I was not able to get the show out last week because so much was happening, and I was just waiting for one more thing to get out, and the time slipped by. But I want to take things in order of the way they happened. We had last Saturday there was an immigration rally, so I want to bring you some discussion and clips from that. I attended that. Then on Sunday, the Texas governor gave his State of the State address and issued his emergency items that will allow the state legislature to start working on those, because in Texas, I think you're prohibited from passing any new laws unless they are an emergency item declared by the governor for 60 days. So 60 days, they can't pass anything. So we'll talk about that. And then I want to talk about Representative Hillary Hickland and that whole story that is out right now with Hillary Hickland. And then we could talk about the Bell County Annex, the new annex coming to downtown Killeen. We could talk about some of the city council races, but more of the bond election is kind of what I want to go over. So, let's go ahead and start from 1 week ago in Belton at 11 o'clock. They were having a rally, support immigration rally. Now, I was not over there promptly at 11 o'clock whenever it started because I had to go to a job fair and HBCU fair, and that stands for Historically Black Colleges, at Chaparral High School. And so I went to that real quick, said hi, took some pictures. They had a kickoff ceremony, and then I left there and went to Belton. And probably made it to Belton around 11:45-ish. And I didn't know how many people were going to be there. I wasn't organizing the event. From my understanding, it was two Latinas, one from Temple, one from Belton, and I forgot their name. I met them cursory and exchanged info, but they were the ones that were organizing it, and it spread pretty quickly. I saw some family members there that I wasn't planning on expecting to see, but they were out there supporting our community, our race, our raza. So it was good to see, and they, just like any rally. They were chanting and people driving by honking horns. And I went through the crowd after they were speaking, because they gave the people that put on, obviously they spoke. And after that, I just went through the crowd and talked to people and asked them, what are they doing? What is their name? What are they doing? Why are they here? And what city are they from? So let's play that so you can hear the diversity of people that were in attendance. I do a podcast, okay. So
I just want to get, if you could tell me your name and why you're here.
Well, my name is Cindy, and today I'm here to, raise the voice of those people that do not have one, and that they can't show up for, they're scared, or just I like to be here to represent everybody. That's pretty much it.
Thank you. What city are you from?
I'm from Temple.
You're from Temple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your name and why you're here. Anybody? Come on.
My name's Ana Gomez, and I'm here to protest what's going on at the moment. Like with the mass deportations and stuff like that.
What city are you from?
Temple, Texas.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you.
I'm here to support
What is your name and why are you here?
Matt West. I'm here to demonstrate the unity we can have if we acknowledge our multi-ethnicity.
Well, thank you for being here, Matt. What city are you from?
Well, now or originally?
Now.
I'm originally from Muskogee, Oklahoma, the Cherokee Nation.
Okay. Where do you live now?
Temple.
All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah. Well, this is what we need, and we need people to join the Democratic Party and not Republican Trump's party.
I concur.
It's important that we say Republican Trump from now on because the public is that far behind.
Okay. What is your name and why are you here?
My name is Heather Herman, and I am here because there are a lot of people that I love that will be affected or are being affected by all of the policies being enacted, and I wanted to stand up for my friends and neighbors.
Well, thank you. What city are you from?
I am from Temple, Texas.
Well, thank you.
I'm Matt. I am here to support everyone that lives on this earth that is trying to survive. And I'm from Temple and appreciate it.
Thanks for being out here, Matt.
Thank you.
I do a podcast, so if you mind, why are you here?
My name's Jennifer Guerra, which I don't look it, but I experienced a lot of racism just because of my last name and what goes on to real immigrants. Like, it's unbelievably horrifying, and we've got to stop it.
What city are you from? Hello. My name's Louie Minor. I do a political podcast. If you could tell me your name and why are you here today?
I'm Jennifer Lee, and I am here because no one's illegal. We are on stolen land. We have no right to tell anybody that they can't be here. We can't be here. We're illegal.
Love thy neighbor.
Yes, love your neighbor. Stop the hate.
What city are you from?
I am from Temple.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Jennifer. And what did you do last election cycle?
I ran for state representative for House District 55.
Well, thank you for that.
As the Democratic nominee.
Thank you for that. We need.
And I will be running again for 26.
Breaking news.
Everybody needs hope. We need options on the ballot that we can believe in.
Well, thank you. You want a comment from my podcast?
Sure.
Why are you here? What is your name and why are you here?
My name is Krishna Talbot, and I am a city council member for the city of Nolanville, and I am here because I am an immigrant. And I do not think that anyone is illegal on stolen land. And I think that everybody should have the same opportunities that my parents did when they came here.
Well, thank you so much for being out here, and we definitely need the support. They're trying to divide and conquer.
Yes, they
Divide
are.
and conquer. Tell me your name and why are you here?
Richard Lopez. I'm here to support my heritage, my people, from the government trying to separate us and go against each one of us. But us as a group, as you can see, if we reunite and hang strong together as American citizens, we will overcome this. We will overcome, and the government will have to see that we take this seriously And it's wrong for us people to have to hide and look over our shoulders. It seems like we're the only people that have to do that, and it's not right.
What city are you from?
I'm from Belton.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.
All right. This is one of the organizers.
This is the organizer.
Hello, Louie Minor. I'm the county commissioner here.
Yeah, I've heard about you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for putting this on.
Thank you for coming.
I do a podcast, so I want to get your name and why are you here?
So my name is Magda Powers, and I'm here because I don't like what's going on in our country right now. I don't think that mass deportations are the solution to the problems of our country, and I just don't agree with it. And I know that there's a lot of people in my community that feel the same way.
And you're a veteran?
I am.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. I served in the U.S. Army from 2006 to 2010.
Well, thank you. I did my service too. So, all right. Well, thank you for doing this.
You should have her come on and talk.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you my. What is your name and why are you here?
I'm Irene Andrews, longtime activist, part of the LGBT community, and I understand that we need to build bridges and come together, and so I'm here in a supportive role because I believe all of us are part of humanity. I'm here to celebrate our oneness and our humanity.
What city are you from?
What was that?
What city are you from?
I'm from Nolanville.
All right. Thank you, Irene.
You're welcome.
What is your name and why are you here?
Lexi Sariñana. I am here to show that we stand together. We're better united than we are apart. This is a topic that is very close to my heart. Both of my parents were immigrants. They came here from Mexico, and it's been a struggle. It's a lengthy process, especially going through the right channels and all of that. But I just really want people to know that we are here and we're better together.
What city are you from?
Here, Belton, Texas.
Belton, Texas. Well, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. You heard from some of the participants there. There were over probably 100, 150. I mean, there was a lot of people there. A lot of people I've never seen before. Majority of people I've never seen before. So it was good to see that during these troubling times that, people that probably stayed home and didn't vote and didn't think, probably didn't care, probably didn't realize what was going on or believe the BS that Donald Trump was saying, that he's going to lower food prices, grocery prices, and gas prices, and end the war in Ukraine, and take care of everything in Israel, in the Middle East. It's just was all BS. It was all BS. And now we're having to live with his daily chaos that he's been doing. But I think that he'll lose steam. He'll definitely lose steam. You cannot keep up this this operational tempo that he's been going with, trying to gut and fire all these federal employees. But it's bringing people together and getting them, off the couch and getting them activated for activism. And I've been seeing a lot in the news here locally. Obviously down in Austin, things are going to happen because that's our capital. But I've been seeing a lot of rallies up in Waco happening on TV. So, keep it up. This is what it's going to take for 2026 for us to vote a lot of these jokers out that are selling our government, our norms and standards, our practices out the window for one man. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope they keep it up, and you definitely have to stay engaged and have a plan of what's going to happen. What do you need to do? I attended a Zoom from the ACLU, and that was their big thing. Have a plan in place, especially for elected officials. If this comes to your neighborhood, if this comes to your county, your city, have a plan. What are you going to tell people? We owe it to our residents. We owe it to people that live and work in our communities to tell them what is the plan and what are we going to do to help. So that was Saturday. The next day, the governor gave his state of the state speech. I did not watch it live because I was at a fundraising bingo for our local facility, child abuse facility that they do the forensic interviews. So I was there participating in that. But I listened to it the next day, and I was a little shocked of what I heard. So let me play a clip of his top priorities.
I want at least $10 billion more in property tax cuts for our fellow Texans. But here's the deal. That will only work if local authorities cannot use loopholes to jack up your property taxes like Harris County did. They increased your property taxes by more than 10% last year. Loopholes that increase your property taxes must be closed. No taxing entity should be able to raise your property taxes without a 2/3 approval of voters. No approval, no new taxes.
So that was the first emergency item that the governor listed, and the one that really got me going, like he's lying. But let me read the other before I dive into that, the first one. So number one, obviously property tax relief. Number two, water infrastructure investment. Number three, teacher pay raise. Number four, expanded career training. Number five, school choice. Number six, bail reform. And number seven, a Texas Cyber Command. So those are his priorities. That is what the state legislature, the Senate and the House, can start working on now. And actually, I believe on Wednesday, the Senate went ahead and passed their version of the school choice bill. So now it has to go to the House. From my understanding, the House still has not even selected chairmanships. So it should be coming here pretty soon. And so it'll be interesting to see who the chairs are, who the vice chairs are. And then they could start addressing some of these. Well, at least the only one that's passed so far that I'm aware of is the school choice. But back to property taxes. And we're going to get into the weeds here about your property taxes. And so you heard the governor say he wants to invest $10 billion in property taxes, and he wants to close the loopholes that local government uses, like Harris County, that their property taxes went up over 10%. And the loophole that Governor Abbott is referring to is the statute and law that they created, that if you go over, because the maximum you can go over is 3.5% from the previous year's taxes. So that's a cap. If you go over that 3.5%, and the 3.5% is supposed to be inflationary. There's some inflation built into that to go up for inflation, and then a little bit outside of that. But what it does, if you go over that 3.5%, as a taxing authority, then you have to go to the voters. And that's what Harris County did. Harris County and I believe their flood improvement district, because Harris County floods when there's hurricanes. They both went to the voters, and the voters approved it. I believe it was 9% for Harris County. The voters approved it. Simple majority, like everything else that we vote on. Nothing that voters vote on requires a 2/3 majority. So if any tax rate needs a 2/3 majority,
Bluetooth connected.
Needs a 2/3 majority, it's gonna strangle. It's gonna strangle local government, and there's gonna have to be severe cuts. Government cannot function like that. And if you think the roads are bad now, if you think law enforcement service is bad now, if you think it takes too long to get stuff through the court system, you think all that's bad now, let something like that go through, and you'll see how hard it is for anything to improve people's lives. But so the next day, Channel 10, the local CBS affiliate, reached out to me, asked if I would be willing to do an interview. I said, absolutely, I would. And then I believe they wanted to talk to the judge, any of the other commissioners. To my understanding, none of the other commissioners wanted to talk because the story was going to be about Bell County raising its property taxes. And we went above the no new revenue rate, which the county has done for a long time. This was the first time we went above the no new revenue rate. I was the only one that voted against the property tax increase. So I don't know if the other commissioners were scared to talk about raising people's property taxes. But like I said, I voted against the property tax rate increase. So I was okay talking about it. So let me play that clip real quick, and then we'll go a little bit more about property taxes.
One of the emergency items Governor Abbott announced for the state legislature in his address to the state last night could affect the property taxes of every Texan. He called out local counties that raised property taxes, offsetting the cuts passed by the previous legislative session.
Bell County just raised its property taxes last year to pay for, in part, staff for a new county jail. News 10's Chris Cordova is here with a look at how the governor's proposed property tax reform could affect the taxing power of local entities across the state. Chris?
Lauren Gordon, Governor Abbott told Texans last night he wants to see a $10 billion slash in property taxes statewide. But he also wants to ban any property tax increase by local taxing entities unless 2/3 of citizens vote to approve it. This could change the way counties operate across the state. Bell County residents like Scott Airy aren't happy with the way their property taxes keep getting raised, despite property tax cuts passing in the state legislature.
Bell County citizens have seen their tax bills go up and probably will continue to do so in the future.
In response to counties raising property tax rates, Governor Abbott announced property tax reform as an emergency item for the legislative session in his address Sunday.
No taxing entity should be able to raise your property taxes without a 2/3 approval of voters. No approval, no new taxes.
While Bell County Commissioner Louie Minor voted against the latest Bell County tax increases, he says local entities need to keep their power to raise taxes in order to keep county services funded.
The state is telling us to do something, and they're not giving us a way to pay for it. So the only way for us to pay for it is to raise your taxes.
But State Representative Hillary Hickland supports the governor, saying the power to increase taxes should be more directly in the hands of voters.
There's kind of a fundamental question. Should our taxes be able to be raised without voter say? And what Governor Abbott is saying is no. that people should have a say if their taxes are being raised.
Ari is the founder of the Central Texans for Property Tax Reform Facebook group. He frequently advocates for lower property taxes. But the governor's proposal requiring 2/3 of voters to approve tax increases isn't something he supports.
Having voters have to approve every single tax increase is a level of micromanagement that I don't think anyone has ever heard before, and I think it would be counterproductive.
But the McLennan County Republican Party Chair Chris DeCluett thinks if the proposal can make it through Congress, it would be widely supported by voters.
The idea that you have to get voter approval, you have to get a mandate from the voters to do anything other than something just de minimis is going to be popular, and I think it's going to receive a lot of support.
Representative Hickland says she plans to support Governor Abbott's property tax reform goals in the Texas House. Reporting in the studio, Chris Cordova, KWTX News 10.
Well, that was Chris Cordova with Channel 10. Now, he really didn't go into my entire statement because we talked two times that day. But I told him, said the governor of Texas is lying to Texans about property taxes. And what do I mean by that? If you go to any city, any place in the state of Texas and ask a homeowner, can I see your property tax bill? And 100% of the time, the largest taxing entity on your tax bill is going to be your school district. It's not counties, it's not cities, it's not special districts. It's the school district. And why is the school district so high, you ask? Because the state is not funding it. The state is not fully funding public education. So the school districts have to get that money from somewhere. So they go to the property tax. They go to you and me because the state is not doing their job of fully funding our schools. And this school choice voucher scam, $1 billion going to private schools, that could fund, and I learned that because I was listening to the hearings, that could fund 100,000 public school kids. But instead, we're diverting that to private schools. And nowhere, I heard this listening as well. Do you know? Can you guess? Because they're trying to sell this as it's going to help minority children. It's going to help disadvantaged people in failing schools. And they put in the poverty level to be eligible for this. You know what they, and by they I mean Republicans, nowhere else have I ever seen this in any government. Usually it's, a certain percentage, 100, 200% below the federal poverty level. This was above the federal poverty level, exponentially above. To be considered at the poverty level for this, a family of four can make $160,000 a year. That doesn't sound poverty to me. But they're doing that so they can take care of their rich friends that already have their kids in public education. So it's a sham. It's a redistribution of wealth based on the backs of hardworking Texans. So that's the sham. That's the lie. It's not counties. It's not special districts. It's not cities. It's the state not doing its job. That's why your property taxes are so high. So stop lying to the people, Governor Abbott. And you heard Hillary Hickland there in that clip, and I'm glad that she was in that clip. I forgot she was in that clip, but we can now switch to our new state legislator, state representative Hillary Hickland, Abbott's puppet, because that's who got her in office. So of course she's going to agree with everything, rubber stamp everything he wants, because she wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for him. So let's switch to the last topic we're going to talk about is myself and Representative Hickland. We're seeing things differently, and whenever I went to the counties at the Capitol and met with Representative Buckley, I met with staff from Senator Flores's office because he was busy in committees, and then I met with Representative Hickland, and I was there to advocate for Bell County's legislative priorities. I was there to advocate for Texas Association of Counties, our legislative priorities, and concerns on one of the bills that she had filed. But once we got to the end of all that, Representative Hickland told me, "Hey, have you been keeping up with President Trump's executive orders?" And I was like, "No, not really. Just whatever I hear on the news, but I'm not keeping up with everything." And she said, "Oh yeah, he passed an executive order about flags." And I was like, "Okay." And then she said, "Yeah, I think the governor did one on flags too." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she goes, "I'm going to be sending a letter to Judge Blackburn about flags." And I told her, I said, "Are you referring to the flags I have in my office?" And she said, "Yeah, those are the flags I'm referring to." And I said, "Well, feel free to do whatever you feel is necessary. That's political. You're a politician. I'm a politician. So go ahead." And she goes, "Yeah, I just want to give you a heads up so you're not surprised. You'll be seeing that." Well, I mean, I don't follow Representative Hickland online, and a friend sent me, said, "Hey, have you seen Representative Hickland put out something about you?" And I'm like, "No." So I looked it up, and let me read this to you real quick. So keep in mind, I did not see this till this week, but it's dated January 29th, 2025. Today is February 2nd. But let me read the letter real quick. Judge David Blackburn. Judge Blackburn, as you may have heard, Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly issued a one-flag policy which would order that only the flag of the United States of America be flown or displayed at U.S. facilities, both domestic and abroad. In response, I plan to introduce legislation in the coming weeks aimed at addressing this issue at the state level. This legislation will ensure that only U.S., Texas, and any official municipal flags are displayed at any state, county, or city building. Last month, a concerned citizen contacted the National Association of Christian Lawmakers after they noticed altered American and Texas flags being displayed in the windows of the Bell County Courthouse. The NACL brought this issue to the attention of one of my colleagues who shared it with me. I understand that in 2023, the Bell County Commissioners Court adopted a policy mandating only the U.S. and Texas flags be displayed at county facilities. While I commend your efforts, this policy continues to be violated by an elected official who manipulates it to advance his personal agenda. Holding public office means carrying the responsibility of serving and unifying our communities. It does not give us the right to use our position as platforms for political activism or division. As a ninth-generation Texan whose ancestors fought for the independence of the Republic of Texas, the Lone Star flag holds a deep personal significance to me. It represents freedom, perseverance, and serves as a constant reminder of my heritage. The colors of both the American and Texas flags carry shared symbolism. Red stands for bravery, white stands for purity, and blue stands for loyalty in the Texas flag, while blue in the American flag symbolizes justice. Altering these flags and their colors, then displaying them at an official building in our state, not only undermines their symbolism, but also disregards and disrespects the legacy of those who fought for them. I love this country and this state, and as state representative for House District 55, I will ensure the voices of my constituents are being heard. I will fight to preserve our shared values and protect our freedoms and uphold the principles that make Texas and our nation strong. That was her statement. So, yeah, a lot of BS in there. And what I did was I wanted to issue a response to that. So I reached out to the Killeen Daily Herald, and they published my response. Let me read that to you. Buckle up. This was posted on Killeen Daily February 5th, and by Kevin Lamenti. Minor hits back at Hickland over pride flags at Bell County Courthouse. State Representative Hillary Hickland sent a letter to Bell County Judge David Blackburn about altered American flag and Texas flags being displayed at the Bell County Courthouse, referencing Bell County Commissioners Louie Minor's gay pride flags. Hickland, or Belton, sent this letter last week, but Minor told the Herald he only found out about it Wednesday. Minor, D. Killeen, said Hickland told him in late January she planned to send the letter. He said it was an example of overreach as well as a free speech issue. Hickland, whose district encompasses parts of Killeen, said she was introducing legislation next week in response to Secretary of State Marco Rubio's one flag policy, which says only the U.S. flag can be flown at U.S. facilities. In her letter, Hickland said that the legislator would require that only U.S., Texas, and official municipal flags be displayed at city and county buildings. In her letter, Hickland said a concerned citizen brought it to her attention. Altering these flags and their colors, then displaying them on official buildings in our state, not only undermines their symbolism, but also disregards and disrespects the legacy of those who fought for them, she wrote. Minor said he's been displaying the flags in the windows in his office in the Bell County Courthouse ever since June 2023, when the Commissioner's Court created a policy that only the U.S. flag and Texas flag or county flag be displayed. With that in mind, I put the U.S. and Texas flag and pride colors in my window, and they've been there ever since. To me, it is obvious Representative Hickland does not understand how government works or the Constitution, he said. Minor also said he served as a captain in the Army National Guard and had tours in Iraq. I will not be lectured to by someone who has never served their country and has only been in office for 2 weeks, Minor said. Hickland was sworn in to office last month. Minor, who is gay, said he believes that this is a free speech issue and that both elected officials and residents are afforded that right. I thought the Republican Party supported free speech. I do. I know I do. I guess I was mistaken. They only support free speech that aligns with their point of view, he said. He also said he disagreed with Hickland's proposed legislation, saying that it was a slippery slope. Is she going to expand that to websites too? Minor asks. Where does it stop? Where does the encroachment stop? Minor said Christian nationalism was playing a big role in Texas politics. The state has been continuously overreaching in the past legislative sessions, trying to take away local control from both cities and county. I support all religion. I fought for freedom of religion. I fought for freedom of speech. I'm never going to tell one religion or one ideology that they're never going to exercise free speech. Harold reached out to Hickland's office in Austin, but did not hear back by deadline. So that was my response. No, I will not get lectured by you. And file your bill. What are you waiting for? Let the National Christian, whatever it was, let them give you a draft bill, like all your bills are drafts from someone else. Nothing original. Plagiarism. But yeah, let's see how far that gets. Good luck. Good luck on trampling a disabled veteran's free speech. Elected. I like how she says she wants to bring people together, but look at all the BS that she's supporting. So you're not bringing no one together. As if you want to try and believe that, you're lying to yourself. But anyways, we have a fight. You know, we're dealing with it at the federal level. We're dealing with it at the state level. But it's up to you and I to stay involved, to hold them accountable, to support candidates that support our point of views. And when all those come together, great things happen. When all those things come together, great things happen. This coming week, I'll be at tomorrow's Super Bowl. Sunday is Super Bowl, so I'll watch the halftime show, I guess. But outside of that, later on in the week, I'll be going to the Texas the Conference of Urban Counties here in the state of Texas, down in Austin. It'll be our policy meeting, and I'm excited for that. It's a 3-day event, and next week is also Valentine's Day, so be sure and take your loved one, get them some flowers, some chocolates. Don't forget, Valentine's. This is your warning. All right. Have a great day. We will talk to you next week.